What up, guys? Welcome back to another beer review. Still hanging out in Peru, so that means we're still doing Peruvian beers. And today we have Candelaria Lager right there. Ooh. Yeah, independent beer, 5.1% ABV. It's not a whole lot. I mean, it's a small can, 355 milliliters. Not very big. It's almost like a feels like a Red Bull can kind of thing. But you know what? I have no idea what to expect with this thing, so let's crack it open. Get it pouring. Lagers, I have found is kind of interesting here, especially if you get one that's corn based, because the corn here is not sweet like an American corn on the cob kind of thing. The vast majority of corn here is very earthier and has kind of a nutty taste to it. And unless you get into like the purple corn, then that's a wholly different thing. But the regular corn, if you get a corn-based lager or something like that, it's not going to have that sweetness in it. And so I've had a couple where you don't even realize how necessarily sweet some of like a mass-produced American lager is until you have a corn-based lager that doesn't have that sweetness. And it's like, wow. I did not realize how sweet it is. It's kind of like if you've ever had just like regular Jiffy peanut butter. That stuff is loaded with sugar. And then you have like peanut butter that's just peanuts and salt. If you eat that and then you go back to the Jiffy, you can't believe how sweet that peanut butter actually is. I've discovered that with some of the corn-based lagers and just beers here. I don't know if this is corn-based, but I'm just kind of putting that out there just in case it is. So anyways, I have no idea what to expect with this. Let's get into the review, get into the smell. At first I thought I was going to get a hint of that kind of funk aroma, but it really quickly turned into more of a citrusy pineapple kind of aspect. It definitely smells like there's probably going to be a hoppy element going on. But it almost has the aroma of a wheat beer meets kind of light IPA kind of thing. It has a bit of that aroma. You know, it's definitely got some hoppiness aspects to it. I mean, the can, this devil thing or whatever it is, the eyes are hops. But I think it smells kind of refreshing. But it still has a bit of that graininess that you'd want from a lager. I don't think it's corn-based. I think this is going to be more of a wheat kind of grain kind of thing. Quinoa is a very popular grain used in beers here. But I don't know. I like the smell. I kind of dig it. So I'm going to recommend it on smell. I need to get like a platform so I can just stick the can here. Anyways, let's keep going. Get into the taste. There's almost a creamy finish to this. It kind of reminds me of a cream ale. What is that? The Genesee or the what is that? You know, it's like this big. It's got a nitro thing in it. It's got like a tannish and green label. I'm drawing a blank on the name. It has a bit of that kind of creamy mouthfeel to it. Was not expecting that at all. And the taste is interesting. It's not like fill your mouth with all kinds of taste kind of thing. You get a bit on the tip of your tongue. On the back end, it's not a lot. It's very clean outside of that kind of creamy finish. But on the tip of the tongue, there is that lager aspect. Definitely a grain, a wheat kind of lager, not corn. It doesn't. I mean, it's not like sweet like that. But even with the Peruvian corn, it's not that. I'm pretty sure it's a grain lager, and there's a bit of sweetness to it, like a fruit sweetness. I'm trying to. I don't know what sweetness. There's almost like a. I'm sounding crazy. There's almost a dab of like a strawberry sweetness to it. Not a lot. Almost like somebody dropped a strawberry in the glass and you kind of threw it out and put beer in it, and you got just a hint of that kind of flavor profile. It tastes like there's something like that going on, but it very much is a lager. And it's so odd. Like my tongue right now, I get some taste in the front half, the back half, there's nothing. So it's interesting. It really is almost just a lager meets a cream ale. That's what it is. But I don't know. I'm not in love with it. It's not the worst thing. It's okay. Like, it's okay. Like, again, I'm not in love with it. It's not terrible. I feel like there's something you had to drink chilled. I do think it would kind of lose some of that luster, whatever luster it has once it starts to get close to room temperature. But I'm gonna give it a half. Like, it's not blowing me away, but it's okay. I'll give it a half. Next category is value for price, and this particular brand, this Candelaria. I don't know if that's just the brand, because I've had a few other beers from this particular company. And these particular beers are more expensive than most of the other craft beers that I've found. One of the others I've had from this, I'm drawing a blank on it, but if you look at the Peru beer reviews, it's in like a red glass. That one was one of the best beers I've had in a very long time. This one, not so much, and I feel like this costs more than almost all the other Peru craft beers that I've come across at the select grocery stores I've been to. And comparatively, if you're putting it against what you pay for an American craft lager, it's still not bad. But I got to compare this to what there else is around me, and there's several other craft beers, and almost all of them are a lot less expensive. So I'm gonna give this another half because it's not crazy expensive when I'm comparing it to American craft beer, but it is more expensive than most other just general craft beer in Peru. So I'm gonna give it a half on that. Next category is distinction. How distinct is it? And I mean, it's interesting. It is basically a cream ale lager. It's a cream lager, and that in itself could be kind of like a little fascinating for some people. You know, it's got a different mouthfeel than your standard lager. The taste is very similar. There's a dab of hoppiness. I mean, on the back it says it's 19 IBU. So, you know, a little more of a hoppiness than your standard lager. But I mean, so in that way it does stand out a little bit. So, I mean, honestly, it gets a little tricky trying to get a lager to stand out. But sometimes, you know, it's just when I put these 3 or 4 ingredients together, and, you know, based on the amount of each, that's kind of what you're gonna get. That's where the differences come in. There's something else going on, and so actually, no, I think I will recommend it for distinction. It is different from your just kind of standard basic lager. So if you like a lager but you want a little tweak on it, absolutely go for this. I think this is fine. So yeah, I'll recommend it on distinction. Next category is drinkability, and I mean it's fine. It's an easy to drink beer. It's 5.1%. I mean, which is kind of, I guess, probably what you're going for if you just want a regular lager. It's not out of this world. You can drink a couple of these and not really feel buzzed or anything, especially with smaller cans like this. So I think it's fine. Yeah, I'll recommend drinkability. Sure. And last category is where I buy this again, and it's just not doing it for me. It's okay. That's basically all I can say about it. It's okay. You know, I'm not going to tell you not to get it. Yeah, try it out. But it's just not my favorite. There are other beers I'd much rather have. And so, yeah, I'm not going to be buying this again. But that is pretty much the basic review on this Candelaria lager. Whatever indie means right here. But, yeah, not bad. It's... I'm glad I tried it out, and now I know. But, yeah, that's about it. So, like, subscribe to all the good stuff, and stay tuned for future brew beer reviews and all that good stuff, and some other videos coming up. But, anyways, for myself and for Candelaria Lager, take it easy.